Welcome to the Active Chinese Guided Tour. As an educator, you are constantly looking for ways to make the Chinese language more accessible and engaging for your students. How is Active Chinese uniquely able to achieve this? There are three integrated components in the Active Chinese School Edition that help teachers to achieve results. First, Active Chinese provides a comprehensive multimedia program with online interactive delivery and offline CD-ROM software, in addition to textbooks and audio and video iPod downloads. Let me give you a quick tour of our Flash animated curriculum. At the bottom of the screen, you will see a play, pause, and rewind fast-forward function that allows both the teacher and student flexibility in viewing the dialogue and language points section of the lesson. The first three buttons are the lesson dialogue in three different modes. The first mode, the immersion dialogue, immediately dives into the dialogue contents in Chinese and Chinese character subtitles, followed by the second mode, the extended dialogue, which breaks down each sentence in the dialogue and gives a word-by-word translation in English. It also emphasizes pronouncing tones through our visual format. One of Active Chinese's unique characteristics is a color scheme for the four tones of Mandarin. As you can see from the extended dialogue, each tone is assigned a different color, allowing students to internalize how to use tones properly. The third mode, called the interactive dialogue, allows students to review the dialogue's content in an engaging and interactive format. Some of the features included in this section are a recording feature for students to practice pronunciation with a microphone and then compare their pronunciation with the standard recording of the native speaker, a mouse over function for each vocab word in the dialogue, and a button to turn Pinyin and English on and off. Next, you will see a cultural and language points section that goes over the cultural points relevant to the particular lesson, grammar points, and vocabulary introduced in the dialogue. It also includes a lot of cultural tidbits about modern and ancient China, covering such topics as food, hobbies of Chinese teenagers, and much more. After taking a look at the language points section, it's time for reviewing and reinforcing what was taught in the dialogue. This brings us to the drill section. The drill section is composed of 6 parts, stressing all of the important language skills: pronunciation, vocabulary, listening, sentence patterns, communication, and writing characters. Helping tips and the recording function are built into this section to encourage students to complete the drills while practicing spoken Chinese and comparing their pronunciation to the standard recording. The School Edition also incorporates a reading passage, which tests students' reading comprehension. It includes the reading passage in characters only, characters in Pinyin, and a separate English translation. Students can listen to a recording of the reading passage by clicking on the play button below. The last and final section of the lesson is the assessment test, which quizzes students on the material covered in the dialogue and language points. The answer keys and test scores are provided at the end of the test. Second, Active Chinese provides a set of tools for teachers to prepare for class and thus free up precious time to develop creative activities to help students and make learning more engaging. We offer a customizable PowerPoint presentation for each lesson that the teacher can use in the classroom. It integrates the animation from the dialogues and language and culture points section of each lesson, as well as interactive drills. It allows you to edit and reinforce the grammar points covered in the lesson. We also offer a Pinyin teaching guide that will help you introduce Pinyin at the start of your course. The Pinyin teaching guide comes in PowerPoint format and includes a history of Pinyin, an explanation of Pinyin's modern usage, and a structured format for teaching initial and final sounds. In addition, our teacher support tools include written tests for every 5 lessons in the School Edition, a teacher's book, which provides the answers to workbook exercises and written tests, and a general lesson plan, which has recommendations for how to break down the teaching of one complete lesson. Lastly, Active Chinese's online program includes a library of additional resources for both teachers and students that complements our Flash animated lessons and creates an engaging environment for reviewing lesson contents. A Pinyin and character writing reference provides essential material for beginner learners. MP3 and MP4 downloads give students the tools to study lesson dialogues and language points on the go. The Active Chinese Culture Shocker series is a fun way to learn about China's modern culture and customs through animated reels. The personal vocabulary and flashcard function allows students to manage key vocabulary or hard to remember words in each lesson and generate flashcards based on their personal vocabulary. Active Active Chinese is currently being used by numerous private and public K-16 schools in the US, international schools worldwide, and at a variety of other institutions, including the United Nations. Don't take our word for it though. Let's hear what students from Joe Barlow High School have to say about using Active Chinese.
You use to speak and use the languages.
And it's much more interesting than just following set blocks of vocabulary.
It walks you through step by step what the language is trying to explain.
So I like how this is personal and it's kind of like a one-on-one thing.
Probably my favorite part though is the story that they have where Mark is developing his relationship with Wang Wenxing, and it's just fun to watch.
The way to teach it is much more interesting than just sitting and having a teacher lecture to you.
And I like how interactive it is, and the graphics are really nice.
And you can always go back and slow things down.
They're really useful in just better understanding how you can apply the language outside of the context.
Join the schools and teachers that brought the Active Chinese program into their school to make Chinese more fun and engaging. Sign up for our free 30-day trial today to gain access to complimentary lessons and our library of teacher and student resources. We look forward to welcoming you to the Active Chinese community, and happy learning!